I told you there was an interesting mix of products today. I was not lying.
Can you all hear me? Hi, I'm Melissa Dow. I'm the and founder of Rogue Rovers and my mic be working very well.
You might actually want to get up on stage if you can. It might be a feedback issue with the speakers. How we doing? All right. We'll get you up on stage here. It'll probably work out better.
Got it. Good luck, guys.
The FarmDogg, as you can see here, is an all-terrain, all-electric, semi-autonomous vehicle. It's designed for farms, specialty farms in particular.
Here, let me work with you here. You can use my microphone. It might work out better for you. Let me take it back.
So, farming is the most dangerous occupation in the United States, and it has been for the last 10 years, and previously sort of was always off and on the most dangerous. In fact, 50% of all farmers die from tractor fatalities. That doesn't include accidents and maulings and maimings and so forth. I won't get into that. In addition to that, ATVs also add to that percentage of deaths on farms every year. So the tractor was invented over 100 years ago. And the ATV was invented more than 35 years ago, and they haven't changed since. The idea behind the FarmDogg is to revolutionize the design, redesign a vehicle that's killing more than 50% of the farmers today. So we went to work to start from zero and create a product that could help save lives. And this is what we came up with, the FarmDogg. So the FarmDogg is, as I said, an all-terrain, all-electric vehicle. Because it's electric, we have a lot more versatility in terms of the packaging. And what we did was we moved all of the weight to the bottom of the vehicle. So number one, weight distribution is way better. Having the vehicle and distribution at the bottom of the vehicle lowers the center of gravity, therefore reducing the opportunity for vehicles to flip over. We added then the possibility of getting off and on relatively easily. So this step-through design, which is actually patent pending. And then finally, we made it smart. So we're integrating data collecting capabilities on board the vehicle so that we can data capabilities into the cloud and be able to help farmers better manage their vehicles. So there's sort of three key areas. One is the farmer driving the vehicle, the farmer interacting very at close hand with the vehicle, and the possibility of the farmer being able to use the vehicle remotely. All of these are ways for us to save lives, and we're very much about that. We're based in Oregon, so shout out to any Oregonians out there. This product was developed in conjunction with the state of Oregon. We got grant funds to develop it, and we're very early days. We've actually spent a lot of time working with farmers on the design of the vehicle, and we're currently and actively working with farmers on getting the vehicle into their hands. A lot of very enthusiastic farmers have been working with us on this. The market on small farm vehicles is about $1.5 billion annually in the United States alone. You know, and we could probably make a very good business out of just selling about 1% of our vehicles into that market today. But another thing to add is the U.S. is way ahead in terms of mechanization to the rest of the world. In fact, 40% of the world's population works on farms. So there's a huge opportunity, not just in the United States, but internationally, to help save lives, to improve productivity and mechanization of farming. With that, I will close. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, I gotta keep your mic, right?
Still on? All right. I imagine we have some questions here from our judges.
Number one, so precision agriculture is a really interesting space, and we're pretty excited by it. How about sort of sensors or sort of, you know, things you can put on this platform to allow the farmer to gather data, not just about the usage of the ATV, but you know, the field he's running over, the animals he's tracking, whatever it might be?
Yeah, there's actually two areas that I didn't touch on too much now, but Data collection is absolutely possible from the very start. Because we have an onboard computer, we have the capability of being able to collect sensor data. The one thing that I've heard the most frequently is sort of spectral imagery photography or video surveillance or something that sort of enables. The key is that this vehicle would be in and around the orchard or vineyard every single day. So the capability and opportunity to collect data is regular. And then the second thing is it enables us to do the robotics element or smart attachments. So we're getting into these auxiliary systems. That platform is what we're really working on right now. And once we have that capability, we'll be able to expand with smart attachments, and we have a robotics partner that we've already established.
And just one quick follow-up question. In terms of range and runtime and recharge time, like, does it fit a farmer's working day profile? Or does
Absolutely. So there's two batteries on this vehicle, but one single battery will run between 4 to 6 hours. So, that's 2 to 3 miles per hour, or, it's really kind of a range depending upon what you're using the vehicle for. And then obviously the batteries themselves are swappable, so you're not limited in terms of battery or fuel capabilities. It's just a matter of how you get recharged.
You talked about this being semi-autonomous. Can you talk more about that and the acceptance of your customers to have a self-driving farm equipment?
That's a really good question. And the reason why we went semi-autonomous is because the reality is the most difficult part of getting a robot into an orchard, into this grid where they would operate, is getting it there. So we wanted to leave the driver in the process so that they could get the vehicle into the orchard. But what we're hearing from farmers is that they're a little bit wary of robotics. Our idea is to slowly stage into full autonomy. So the initial platform will have follow me capabilities. So you walk along, the robot follows along behind you, stops when you stop, very safe, very calm. And then as we evolve into more automated tasks, the vehicle itself can be put into the orchard and do what it needs to do. The other great appeal, and this is why we have the lighting on it, is that it can operate at night. And operating at night really reduces the likelihood of any issues with obstacles or people or anything like that. And it sort of doubles the labor time for a farmer.
So I used to run around in like a John Deere Gator back when I was doing work on farms, and I was wondering, how do you see it comparing? Because that feels like a similar use profile. I was like, why not use their distribution or their vehicle chassis instead of developing a pretty complex piece of machinery?
It actually isn't very complex, and we developed this with with voices from the farmers. What was limiting from what they were getting from John Deere or any of the other companies. In fact, people often ask me about like the square tubing. Why are you doing square tubing? The reason is that farmers want the square tubing so they can put attachments on it or other things. And we're going to open source the structure of the vehicle so people can actually make their own. One of the farmers was like, really pretty, but don't want any of the body work. I just want that rolling thing. And that's the kind of versatility that I think they're not going to get from those big boys. The other thing is that we're selling direct. So we go directly to the farmer. We service and sell direct because we have the smart system on board to do so. So it's sort of that constant interaction with the farmer and our customer that really appeals to people. They're not getting that from the big guys.
When you say service, you have your own service techs, or is that open, or how's it work?
Well, what we would do is the data that's coming off the vehicle, it's cloud-based. The controller systems communicate everything. So if there's a problem with the battery, if it's faulting out on the motor, we can know that, and we can anticipate maintenance issues, go out, sort of restart everything, what have you.
Cool.
Just one more question. It says that the cost on our balance sheet says the cost to manufacture is $9,000 and you're selling it for $10,000. How do you make that work?
Well, that's our initial manufacturing cost, and it's not great, but we're selling them for $10,000, and that's what we're selling them for. That's the base vehicle. The money for us is really going to be made on the additional managed services. So once we get into smart attachments and robotics and interactivity with the vehicle itself, that's kind of where the revenues
Data
are.
analysis.
Yeah. And it's appealing to them because the idea of not having a vehicle that goes out into their field and just lives out there for 5 years, sort of aging, you know, to be able to keep modernizing or keep doing more on the vehicle is pretty appealing to them.
Melissa, thank you so much. A round of applause for Rogue Rovers and the FarmDogg.